Before I start explaining what Matthew, Tim, and some other people have done towards me, I want to tell you a short backstory, so that you know what I am talking about in this video. This whole video will be a compressed version of the 5-part videos that I have already released, so if you want it more detailed about what happened, then I suggest you to watch those 5 videos. I was once in a friend group with 3 other people. Their nicknames were Lulu, Fran and Tim. I can't say my nickname, because I have found some evidence that has something to do with me having the word cat in my Roblox username. If I say my nickname, and that I have the word cat in my Roblox account, then people are going to find my Roblox account, which I don't want. We used to roleplay an FNAF role-playing game on Roblox. FNAF is short for Five Nights at Freddy's. I mostly roleplayed Henry Emily, Tim mostly roleplayed William Cawthon, Lulu roleplayed many different characters, and Fran mostly roleplayed a guy named Noah. Our group separated and got back together a lot of times in the year 2020. On November the 30th in 2020, I left the group one last time. On December 12th, 2020 I was role-playing in a different role-playing game, still on Roblox, called Blockbears RP. That same day was the day where Tim started stalking me. While he was stalking me, he created an account that I am going to call John. He basically pretended that he was another person. We met in the Blockbears role-play game on Roblox, and after role-playing with him for a while, we became friends. I knew that John was suspicious for being Tim, because he kinda came straight forward, and tried to be friends with me. When we started talking on Discord, I noticed that he talked about the same things as Tim did. I then exposed him for being Tim, which he denied to. I was still a little unsure if this was really Tim, so I didn't unfriend him. 1 or 2 days after, on January 29th in 2021, I just told Tim that I wanted a hug, and then he weirdly blocked me. He probably blocked me because he gave up on being John, because he knew I was suspicious on him for being Tim, because I just told him that 1 or 2 days before. That or he blocked me because he wanted me to chase after him. In January on the 31st in 2021, I saw someone that I am going to call Destiny while I was role-playing in the Blockbears RP game. I had seen Destiny before, but I only got evidence of it on January 31st. In the chat, Destiny's friend, who I am going to call Lake, is calling Destiny Timmy. Here is proof that Lake is Destiny's friend. This happened twice the same day. You can clearly see that Destiny was not role-playing as anyone named Timmy, neither did the name Destiny have anything to do with the name Timmy. John refriended me again somewhere in February. I accepted the friend request because I was less suspicious that John was Tim, because I just witnessed all the suspicious things with Destiny. On March 1st in 2021, John sent me 2 links. When John sent me the first link, I hesitated at first, and only pretended like I had clicked on the link. However, John sent me a link to another video, and I clicked on it. Clicking on the second link led me to click on the first link also. This was probably the biggest mistake I have done in my entire life. Please never click on any links from anyone. That is extremely dangerous, and it could destroy your life one day. What one or both of the links did, is that it or they made John track my location, and also hack into my old iPad. Now John knew where I lived, and he could spy on what I was doing on my old iPad. On March 9, 2021 I confronted Tim and said that he had been repeatedly joining me as Destiny. Here is proof that this is Tim. However, I didn't really get anywhere. Somewhere after March 9th I unfriended John because I realized that he was Tim too. Not long after Tim had found my location, I heard someone at night knock one time on my window. I checked outside my window the next day, but I saw nothing unusual. I believe that Tim must have sent out whoever that person was to do the tasks. One was to hack the Wi-Fi, and the other was to set up a camera. Yes, a camera. Not just any camera, but a camera that can somehow see me through walls. I didn't suspect that there was a camera watching me, until I started watching videos from the game, film, food and style theorists channels, and also the GQ Live channel. When I confronted Tim about being Destiny, he weirdly mentioned that he had made a game. In that game there is a camera that follows you. I will show you soon more proof that there is a camera watching me, from the theorist channels. I made a new account on Roblox on April 8, 2021, which I am going to call Octopus. I made that account in an attempt at hiding from Tim, although it was kinda useless, since Tim had hacked inside of my iPad, and could see my new account. Here is some proof of people that were suspicious for being Tim stalking me. I eventually found out that Tim was inside of my iPad, by searching one day why my battery on my old iPad drained abnormally sometimes. My old iPad also had trouble charging. I took screenshots of my battery percentage history showing suspicious activity. I can't show you the dates of those screenshots because I would be revealing the date when I got a new iPad in 2022, which was on my birthday, and I'm not comfortable in saying my birthday. Here is evidence of 2 different times when my old iPad would have the battery drained despite it charging. We had hard reset my iPad, and given it to my sibling on the same birthday in 2022. However, I got suspicious on the iPad because it wouldn't charge again. Here it shows that the charger wouldn't charge my sibling's iPad, but it would charge my phone. Not long after finding out Tim had hacked my old iPad, I got uncomfortable with the camera on my old iPad, so I ended up putting a piece of tape on the camera. On September 6 in 2021 I get a warning from my Lenovo laptop that my Wi-Fi security had been deactivated. I tried to reactivate it, but to no avail. Tim must have tried to hack my laptop through the Wi-Fi. Now I have told you the backstory. I will tell you now what Matthew and the people at the Theorist channels has to do with this. On September 18 in 2021 I was watching FNAF Theory. The name of the theory video was 3 New FNAF Timeline Theories, uploaded on the Game Theorist channel. 3 minutes into the video I suddenly see the name Tim appear 3 different times after each other. There is not a single FNAF character named Tim. Later in the video at 5:03 Orville is called overdramatic. Orville is supposed to be a version of Henry Emily, who is the same FNAF character that I used to roleplay as. Tim has called me overdramatic in the past. Here is proof that this is Tim. I started watching theory videos from the Theorist channels after what happened on September 18, 2021. However, before I show you that evidence, I need to quickly tell you some things. Tim is actually the head editor for the Theorist channels, who is also known as ThatCybertGuy. I found out that Dan was Tim by searching up the people in the credits in the description of a theory video. I realized that Dan was very suspicious, because he looked like the person with the Tim name tag, and also because he has a cat on top of his logo, since he is mimicking me. I can't show the logo, because I don't own it, but you can go and look for yourself on X. Here is some more evidence that Dan is Tim. Destiny has a bag with the color coffee brown. Dan loves coffee. Evidence that Stalin is Tim. He also weirdly is friends with someone on X named Destiny. I believe that Destiny is lending him their Roblox account, or has completely given him the Roblox account. I was watching Fusion Z Gamer's gameplay on Security Breach. On December 17th I suddenly discovered an arcade that had a cat on it. I later discovered more suspicious arcades. I also saw that on the arcades, on number 10, was the letters RY. HRY is short for Henry. HRY has been previously used in FNAF 6. The FNAF book number 10, Friendly Face, has coincidentally a cat on it. Our credit to Jeff Stake. One day later, on December 18th, I suddenly see the name Tim on a sticky note in Security Breach. That sticky note also has a drawing of Circus Baby, who is a FNAF character with green eyes. Credit to ID's Fantasy, who spotted the Circus Baby. Dan also has green eyes. The sticky note room in Security Breach looks a lot like the Your Last Thoughts at the End of Time game on Roblox, which I played before Security Breach came out. Here is some proof from the Theorist channels. I found out that the person in the blue shirt is supposed to be me. They only showed one page from the Werewolf by Night comic book, which has the words, Stalker called Moon Knight. Says that Pepsi is on 23rd, but Norway is on 23rd instead. I am from Norway, since my electronics are in the Norwegian language. Dan says here that he is patient 46. On October 24th in 2022 I made a theory that me and Tim are patient 46. The live stream aired on November 13th in 2022. One of the hellos here is written in Norwegian. Dan has a Viking hat on. Vikings originated from the Scandinavian countries, which includes Norway. The 25th of February 2022 I get an Activate Windows message on my laptop. I went to settings to try to activate Windows. Last time, I tried to activate the Wi-Fi security. This time I am trying to activate Windows. The laptop belonged to an organization, so I had no idea what the password was to activate Windows. March 10, 2022 I take a picture of a notification on my laptop. I thought that the Lenovo PM device was a different laptop. I clicked on the message, and it sent me to this page. I had no idea what Lenovo Vantage was, and I felt like this was sketchy. I ended up not touching anything. I don't know when Tim had gotten into my laptop, but it had probably already happened by now. Now Tim could see what I was doing on my laptop too. I eventually stopped doing activities like showering, after I found out that a camera was watching me. I also learned how to wipe while sitting when going to the toilet. I found weird links in the ThatCybertGuy channel's Discord server. I can't show the dates, because I wish to keep the people anonymous. No one who has admin access to the server removed this link. Between the 1st of January 2022 to June 4th, 2022, I get a new iPad on my birthday. We hard reset my old iPad and gave it to my sibling. Right before summer vacation in 2022, I finally told my mom about the stalking. That same day I delivered back my hacked laptop to the organization for a secret reason. I confront Tim about the camera on the 25th of August 2022. Here is proof that this is Tim. Tim sent me a friend request on September 4th, 2022, which I thought was weird, because I blocked him. I eventually found out that Matthew and Stephanie is using a camera to watch their young child with. I honestly don't get why that's even necessary. That child has every right to have privacy. You can see that in December 2020, Tim tried to get Lulu and Fran's company after I left. There is suspiciously a pause between the 12th of December and the 15th of December. Tim started stalking me on the 12th of December. He gave Lulu and Fran one last chance on the 15th of December, before he moved on stalking me. I get a friend request either on the 3rd of May 2023, or somewhere before 3rd May, on Snapchat. The person just ends up sending me a bunch of links. I obviously did not click on any of them, and only pretended. I blocked them after that. I stopped getting evidence on the 4th of April in 2023, the reason for that is because I got less and less motivated to do so. I also got a suspicion that Dan is a narcissist around that time. Narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD/narcissist for short, is a mental health condition where a person has a high sense of own importance, a high need for attention, and lack of empathy for others. Credit to Mayo Clinic. Here is proof. I am not a professional, so I have no right to diagnose him. Me getting evidence from the theory channels meant that I would give attention to Dan, and he would get content from me. I therefore stopped getting proof, and I stopped talking to anyone on my Discord account. Warning, mention of suicide. Skip to 1222. Stalking is no joke, and it has a negative impact on your mental health. Many people have committed suicide because someone had stalked them. Dalko is unfortunately involved into this. I thought at first that he was not on my side, due to him making this video. Danny does not have green eyes, yet he does in the thumbnail. FNAF is listed as the game, but Danny's house is not a FNAF game. I later thought that Dalko was on my side, because he was showing disgust towards cameras. I later realized that he was not on my side, because he weirdly talks to Dan, which I know thanks to this diagram. Dan must have told Dalko that I was writing down how he reacts to cameras. That explains why he shows disgust towards cameras more and more. Dalko also weirdly collaborated with Dan. I am showing this picture to Scott, just in case he hasn't gotten the message. Scott has added me into Friendly Face, Somnophobia, Pressure, Tiger Rock, Bobby Dots and Submechanophobia. I honestly don't understand for what reason he would do this. Please stop, Scott. Not only that, but Matthew actually tried to steal one of my theories, which is my theory that the FNAF book world is similar to the real world. I later changed that theory to be that the FNAF book world is opposite of our world, but that not all things are opposite. If you want to see or hear my FNAF theories, then you can find them in part 5 at 1236. Of course, Tim has hired people to stalk me out in public. Examples of this are on March 7, 2021, when someone followed me in a food store, and between April 5th and April 8th in 2022, when a suspicious person suddenly arrived in a parking lot, where me and my family were charging a new car. The problem is that I don't have evidence of these occurrences. We have finally come to the end. You may be wondering why I made this video in the first place, and why I didn't just go to court. I have some very good reasons for that. Sure, the police might believe me, if I tell them that I have a stalker, and that he is watching me with a camera. Obviously, there is a high chance that they simply won't believe me. However, let's say that they do believe me. They ask me where I got the evidence from. This is where it will go downhill. I will tell them the truth, which is that I got it from watching the theory videos. Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? I know that the police will just laugh at me, which is the reason why I haven't gone to the police. I might also not win the court case. Going to court would be my preferred route. I would rather be in court than to make videos on YouTube about this. I am stuck, and I don't know what to do. I need to take a step forward. I can't just stand in the same place. I want justice for this, and I also want peace. Of course, I did try to contact Matthew multiple times, as you can see on the screen, to try to resolve the stalking issue. However, he never answered me. Another reason for making this video is, perhaps I can make some witnesses aware of this situation, that I wouldn't have otherwise gotten into contact with them. It could be that someone from SteelWoolStudios is a witness to something. Or maybe a family member to Matthew or Dan, you never know. If you are a witness, then please speak up, you will be helping the situation a lot. Now, please don't go and write hate comments to anyone after this. That is not the goal of this video, and it will never be the goal of this video. Writing hate comments to anyone won't help the situation in any way. Hearing the story from both sides is very important. I am curious how the story sounds from other people's perspective. Maybe there is a good reason for why Dako talked to Dan and collaborated with him. You never know. I won't mind if people forget about this occurrence and about me. However, I would like you all to remember this. Always listen to both sides of the story and never click on any links. I have witnessed so many people just listening to one side of the story. Also, don't connect any devices that does not need Wi-Fi at all to the Wi-Fi, like a fridge or a vacuum cleaner. If you are not someone who has wronged me, and you have listened to this whole story, then I would like to say thank you. Goodbye for now, and thanks for not watching.